what you saw. Morning, by the way, this is the next morning. So what you saw yesterday on the on campus, a party that was happening, that was actually something called the senior slumber party. So all the graduating senior students were invited to go and enjoy the performance by Plain White Tees. And I didn't know about this band. I'm not very up to date with music uh, bands of the world. So they are very popular. They are twice nominated Grammy Award nominees. So that's a good band, and they were playing very well. I quite enjoyed it. So that's what was happening there yesterday. And then I came back home and it was just a regular evening. But today is kind of a bit special. So the Bengali community in Delaware is celebrating something called Anando Shondha, which means happy evening, to celebrate the Bengali New Year, which was actually a month ago, but I guess for availability of space and everything, they kind of postponed the celebration to today. So this time is the first time that I'm actually not performing. So as many of you probably might know by now, I do OTC. OTC is an Indian classical dance, and ever since I was very little, I've been a performer. I love the stage. And this is the first time that I'm actually not performing in a cultural show. Not mostly, entirely because I've cut my hair so short that I cannot make the hairstyle required for the performance. Like, even with false hair, I cannot, because even with fake hair, I need to tie this and then put the fake hair or tie extra hair. I don't even have that much hair, and like these little tiny things are coming out from below. That won't look good with that hairstyle. So I was like, okay, I'll sit it out this time. It's okay. And I can relax and watch the show for the first time, because I never do that. I'm always in the green room and I'm always like watching the performers from behind the blinds, and or the wings, yeah, that's what they call it. So yeah, I'm not very good with stage lingo, but yeah, so I always watch the performance from the side, from the wings, but this is the first time I'll be watching people from the audience seat. So that's really gonna be fun. But this is the first time I've also choreographed a dance for some other children. So three girls, they are not really children. So one of them is in 8th grade, two of them are in 8th grade, and one is in 9th grade. So like, to me, they are kind of very young, but I guess they wouldn't want to be called children. So they are like young teenagers, early teens people. So they don't learn dance. They're not trained in Indian classical dance in any way. And this was not the first time they are trying Indian dance on stage. They have danced before. So the thing with them is, I guess their parents want them to be rooted to their culture. So they want them to learn bits and pieces of some Indian dance, or get some exposure to regional language and dance to some regional language songs. So they are not really classically trained. So that makes it a little challenging for me to teach, because I cannot teach complex steps. So it's like, even for very simple steps, you kind of have to explain a lot, because they don't really have that the grammar of Indian classical dance in them. So it's not that simple for them to catch up, but they've done a good job. I mean, I've spent a lot of times, most of the training was done through videos. So I used to make videos and send it to them, and they used to watch it and pick it up. So I had to make sure that the whole thing is very simple and very like not complex footworks, because one, they're not familiar with it, and two, watching through videos, it might not be very convenient. So yeah, so they have picked it up through videos, and I think they've done a decent job. This song that they're performing to is called Aay Tabe Chori. It's written by Rabindranath Tagore, who is a very renowned poet and a Nobel laureate from India, from West Bengal actually, and he is a Bengali. He won the Nobel Prize for writing a book called Gitanjali, which is like a very thick anthology of poems, and it's regarded as one of the best literary works in Bengal, and of course, because he's a Nobel laureate, so it's one of the best in the world. Rabindranath Tagore, for those who do not know him, you can Google him though. You can always Google him, and if you write Tagore, Tagore, you'll know you'll get the right person, because he's quite famous. He's one of the best literary figures of India and the world, actually. And actually, he's one of those people who's written almost everything, like, poems, short stories, novels, plays, songs. And he was a very good painter. He has lots of very good paintings in different museums in India and even abroad, actually. And he's almost like Shakespeare. He's called as the bard of India. And well, like, Shakespeare has not written songs. That's one thing he's not written, but Rabindranath Tagore has written. So yeah, he's actually like a step ahead almost. So like, not to mean that Shakespeare is any less. I mean, I love Shakespeare. I've read so many plays and novels by not I've read a lot of plays, mostly Macbeth, Julius Caesar, and some poems as well. But my favorites of Shakespeare are mostly the plays. And I've also been a student of literature. So in my undergrad, we had a big major module on literature, which was mostly dominated by Shakespeare, as you would imagine, and rightly so. It's such a delight to read his plays, and I have learned so much about writing from his plays. So anyway, so the song that these three girls are performing to today is called Ayata Vishohachari. It's about enjoying playing music and dancing to it with friends. Shohachari means a girlfriend, like girlfriend of girlfriends, of girls, like not girlfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, like a group of girlfriends. So that's it's all about that. So the song basically says that, come girlfriend, let's play the veena. So back then, in those days, veena was probably a popular instrument of playing. And it's also symbolic, because in Bengali culture, our goddess of education, in the Bengali Hindu culture, our goddess of education plays the veena. And it's a musical instrument which almost looks like a sitar. It's a string instrument. And it looks beautiful on the goddess's idol. So you must have seen that on my Saraswati Puja video. So yeah, Goddess Saraswati is also the goddess of arts and music and culture. So that's why, like, dance and music, art and literature, everything is education, everything is related to her. So this song basically talks about, come friends, let's play the veena, sing and dance. We'll play the veena, and to that tune we'll dance. So it's very cute for the three girls. They are kind of young, and I've kind of set it up also in such a way that it looks like they are a part of the Tagore household. So I've done a little bit of research on this. So it turns out that Rabindranath Tagore was not the only person to contribute towards the Bengali literature and arts and culture scene. So he comes from the very illustrious Tagore family. So the Tagore family is one of the big illustrious families of West Bengal. They have like they're not just zamindars. Zamindars were like feudal lords, but there are kind of dark things associated with feudalism, because the feudal lords were not really always the nicest people looking after the welfare of people, but the Tagore family was. So they have actually done a lot for the welfare of people. I've actually read that a lot of social reforms started from their family. So it looks like Tagore's cousin or father or one of the uncles, one of the male members of the family started educating their daughters. Like before that, educating girls was not a thing in our, I can't talk about all of India, but at least in the Bengal part of India. And so apparently, some person from some other village wanted to educate his daughter. And when he took his daughters to a school, people around that area started saying that, oh, why is your daughter going to school? Why is a girl going to school? Now, what is she going to do? Like walk around like men, wear pants? What's she going to do by learning, like by getting educated? So that man was outcasted from his society and was ousted from his village, and he was homeless with his children and family. So then he came to to this family, to the Tagore family, and spoke to the head of the family. I think back, I'm not sure who the head of the family was. Maybe uh, they Devendranath Tagore, maybe Rabindranath Tagore's father or uncle or grandfather, probably. And that person, the Tagore head, told him that, okay, so they did that to you because you sent your daughters to school. So, well, I'm going to send my daughter to school, and let's see what they say to that. So then he took his daughters to school and put them in school, and then the society started realizing that, okay, so we should also do that. And then gradually people started sending their daughters to school. They even made special girls schools and colleges, and made provisions for a lot of higher education, which is great. And then eventually, girls and boys started studying together. We do have a lot of co-education schools and everything. So yeah, and the women of the Tagore family were very forward looking. They were not at all backward looking, and they have immense contribution to the society as well. Like Gyanada Nandini Tagore, she lived in Mumbai for a few years, and she brought back some fashions from there. So the way Bengalis wear sari now, with the thing hanging, or the way most of you see women wearing saris these days, is kind of influenced by the Parsi fashion. And that was not the trend in Bengal, not West Bengal. Back then Bengal was not divided. So a lot of people used to wear saris in a different style. But she got this style, and she also got the style of wearing a blouse, because earlier women used to just drape the sari around their bare chest. And she got this style of a blouse and a chemise inspired by the French style, and a petticoat. So she kind of got this new fashion, which was very comfortable for women, especially protecting them from different environmental factors. And there was another lady who, from the Tagore family, who was very good at cooking. So her cooking books are very, I think her name is Prokashundari Devi, and she learned a lot of different styles of cooking with different kinds of vegetables, and she started using very exotic items and cooking styles, and introduce them into the Bengali cuisine. And actually, a lot of these things are documented in a book. So, as a lot of you might know, that a lot of things in India are not properly documented, especially the older, much older, like almost like the British times or pre-British times. Those things are not thoroughly documented. Some things are documented, but not as well as things are documented here in the West. So, but these people had documented their cooking styles and all these recipes very well. So you can actually buy that book. I think she's called, yeah, Prokashundari Devi or Purnima Devi Tagore. And if you can buy it, you'll see that the cooking style is very different. So that was one contribution. And the other contribution was also by another Tagore family person. I don't remember her name. Let me look for it. I have it written somewhere. 1 second. There it is. Protima Devi. Yeah, Protima Devi was very much into arts and music and dance. So it is said that a lot of Rabindranath Tagore's songs that he had written were given notation by Protima Devi. So all the notations were given by her. She also used to make Rabindra Nritya, which means dances to the songs written by Rabindranath Tagore. So she was the one who actually gave the dance style the style that we see right now. So if you go to YouTube or Google Rabindra Nritya, you see it's got a specific style. The dance steps are a certain way, the hand movements are a certain way. They're kind of slow, so they're kind of inspired from the classical dance, from Kathakali and Manipuri to a large extent. But a lot of these choreographies and the whole dance form was shaped by Protima Devi to a great extent. And she's the one who used to stage home shows in the Tagore family. So they used to have small stage shows at home where the family used to watch the girls perform, and the songs were sung which were written by Rabindranath Tagore. So yeah, so it was a very nice environment that they used to create. So what we are trying to do in today's show is create a similar environment. So that is like these girls are going to dress up as the Tagore family girls. So that means they have to dress up in a very elegant way, because those people were like the typical, like the old money that people call here in the West. They were that for us in Bengal, and they were one of the most influential and illustrious families. In fact, they were all, like Rabindranath Tagore was also actually included in the peerage, in the British peerage. He was given the knighthood, but he actually denounced it. He didn't accept it. Actually, he didn't just denounce it, he just didn't accept it. So yeah. I'm sorry, I got a message from my husband. He's going to the European Union um, thing. So, yeah, in DC. I'll talk about that later. Maybe we'll have a video on that if he can record some. So, yeah, coming back to Tagore's, yeah, so they are very illustrious, big family, and they were a very philanthropic family, actually. They've done a lot of good for the society, and they used to they were also not uh, Hindus. They had picked up a new religion called Brahmo Samaj, which which works slightly different from Hinduism and other religions. They're more education based. I'm not I am familiar with Brahmo Samaj uh, like a system, but I read about that a long time back in history, so I don't remember everything properly. But you can read about it, and it's definitely very different, and it's very education based, and it was slightly more advanced in its outlooks. It was a bit modern in the sense it was more tolerant towards different kinds of people from different kinds of background. They were tolerant towards different genders, they were tolerant towards different religions. So it was like a more I would say modern would mean something that is more open minded, and I would define open minded as more tolerant, more patient, more understanding, and not guided by superstitions. So, yeah, or hypocrisy. So, yeah, these things are very crucial for being modern. So, they were said to be of that type. So yeah, and so the girls today who are performing, they'll be dressed like the Tagore family girls, and they'll have a different kind of hairstyle. It's a very short dance, but the thing is mostly about them trying to choreograph a dance by themselves because they're very young. So they show a bit of disagreement in steps between them, and then they emerge victorious because they actually stage a really wonderful show. So this dance is very heavy on acting, and the best thing is two of these girls who are performing, they're also into theater and they do musicals, so they have some experience of dance and acting on stage. So I thought of leveraging on that because they're not trained in Indian classical dance, but they are sort of exposed and experienced in acting. So yeah, I thought of going with that, use the strengths instead of stressing them out with something completely new and they've not done before. And the dance steps that they're doing are fairly easy. It should not be too stressful for them. So that's what they told me, that they were fine. It was not too bad. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. And also I'll be doing the announcement for their performance. And another thing is Anupam is in DC today. My husband, he's in DC today, and he is going for the European Union open house of the embassy. So Remember last week I went with him to some embassies. We went mostly to South American and African and the Caribbean island embassies. That was last week's theme, and this week they're doing the European Union. So I think Anupam is going to the Czech Republic one and Austria and some others. I don't remember. He's made a whole roadmap with his programming skills, like which one will be more efficient to go, how to get there, and what he can gain from those places. So I hope he'll make some good videos. If not, you are going to see the dance performance of the girls. And yeah, that's the day. Today is going to be a different kind of day. But before I go, I'm going to do my statistical analysis on my data, because my conference is also coming up. LabFon is coming up, and I have to prepare for that. And my advisor has asked me to do a practice talk this Wednesday, so I'm gonna make those slides now. So I have time until 12 o'clock before I leave, and right now it's only 8 o'clock, and I've had bath and everything, so I'm completely ready. All I have to do is just do this work and get ready for the program. See ya. Oh, and one thing that I forgot to show is that, or maybe I've shown some few clips. Anupam sent me this gift yesterday. This is just tea. This is the Duke and Duchess Honey Breakfast Tea by the Republic of Tea. So this has the Bridgerton actors. That's Simon Bassett and that's Daphne Bridgerton, and they are in the show Bridgerton. And I'm a big fan of the first season, not so much of the second one, but yeah, these two people were very good actors. I love their acting, and they're very I also like their interviews. They're very open and honest, which is really nice, and we don't see that very often. So yeah, I'm very excited to try this tea now. Yeah, and I also like English breakfast teas, and this also has honey flavor, so I'm gonna try it now. Okay, so I got the tea, and wow, this smells just like our Indian tea. This is really nice. I've not tasted it yet because it's really hot, but I'm gonna do it. But it smells really good. It smells like our Indian tea. Let me see. It's really, really good. It's so full of flavors. It's strong, but it's also got this honey smell. Well, honey doesn't have smell, but there's something very sweet about it. I really like it. It's really awesome. I'm not drinking in a teacup, by the way. This is a coffee mug. I don't have teacups. Teacups are in Anupam's place, very fancy golden rimmed ones. But here I don't have them. I have very simple coffee mugs. But what is inside is more important. It's really good. I love it. Awesome. They said we can also add milk. I've not added milk. Maybe I'll add milk tomorrow. Hi, so here I am ready for the new Bengali New Year show. I've not done something too much, just simple sari and this bag. This sari is from Stravi. Stravi is in Elgin Road in Calcutta. Everybody knows Elgin Road. It's very close to Forum Mall, and this store is exactly across the street from the Anita Dongre store. As far as I remember, it's either Anita Dongre or Ritu Kumar, or could be both. Yeah, I've not been to India in a while now, so I've forgotten. But yeah, so this sari is from Stravi, and I really like it. I'm not wearing much jewelry. It's kind of warm, so I didn't want to wear too much today. And this bag, it's from Kate Spade, and Anupam got it for me when we were going to Disney. So that's so it's very comfortable and handy. And I'm actually carrying some wristlets, some bangles for the girls who are performing. They needed some extra bangles, so I got them the bangles. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just wearing this wristlet that I think I got this from CVS or something, and I'm wearing this little pendant from Swarovski and a watch. That's all. And I'm wearing kind of a heavy, so I'm not very good at doing makeup, and any makeup I do kind of mimics what I do on stage for dance purposes. And That one is extra, so this always ends up looking extra. I mean, I have a chronological order of putting makeup, and that always ends up looking like this, a bit extra. And I think there's something about my eyes. I don't know, whenever I put eyeliner or something, it kind of ends up looking a bit aggressive. But I'm not aggressive, I'm a really simple girl. So yeah, it's just my eyes are weird. Other than that, yeah, this is my whole sari look, and I feel comfortable. That's all you want when you have to sit in a place for about 4 hours. So yeah, guys, I think I'll drape this in my hand like this once I get there, or maybe I'll just keep it up. It's kind of really hot and humid today. Like, you know, my father always says that West Bengal is very humid, but today here the humidity is 100% and it's hot. It's not cold humidity, it's really hot. So kind of dressing up to match the weather. See ya. Okay, so we are going back to the 1800s, and we are looking at Thakur Bari in late 1800s. So the illustrious Thakur Bari at Jora Shako is known for its various contributions to the Bengali society. We predominantly associate Jora Shako and the Tagore family with Kavi Guru Rabindranath Tagore. But the women of the Tagore family, such as Ganoda Nandini Devi, Progha Sundari Devi, and Shulokhina Devi, to name a few, were equally forward-looking and have contributed greatly to the Bengali society and the arts and the culture scene in Bengal. One such talented member of the family was Pratima Devi, Rabindranath Tagore's daughter-in-law. She was a great proponent and exponent of dance, music and painting. In fact, the Angik movements of Rabindra Nritya that we know now was largely Pratima Devi's brainchild. She even used to add the primary notations of Rabindra Sangeet songs and choreography dance movements based on the songs. She then staged those choreographies as in-house productions in the Thakur Dalan of Jora Shako Thakur Bari. Today's presentation by Ahana, Arushi and Shudipa is a reimagination of the times at Thakur Bari, where the girls along with Pratima Devi used to present their own stage productions. Here you will see the Thakur Bari girls prepare and present a small choreography on a Rabindra Sangeet as they would have in the late 1800s at the Thakur Dalan. Like any stage production, the girls start with incoherent movements, a lot of confusion and disagreements. But when they combine their individual talents of music, dance and choreography together, they put together a brilliant presentation, and we hope you enjoy this reimagined glimpse of a glorious past.
ভালো প্রোগ্রাম দেখলাম আউট অফ বেঙ্গল আউট অফ কান্ট্রি ইটস আ গ্রেট